What's up, guys? Joe here with Worship Guitar Sound. Hey, welcome back. It's been a while for me. I've been gone for a while, and I understand that. But hey, wanted to just give you an update real quick. Going to bring a video, of course, as the title says here. Building a patch, kind of the new patch I've been using in Helix for a while. And yeah, but started a new job recently, and my wife and I are expecting, so few changes in our life. So want to bring some new content to you though. So I'm going to walk you through building a patch and give you a free patch at the end of this video. So watch through. Hopefully this is useful for you guys, and let's go ahead and get started. Well, hey guys, let's go ahead and get this patch built out. So right now you can see we're looking at HX Edit. Nothing set up. So really what I want to go for here is a all-in-one patch, something you'll use every week that'll cover 90% of what you need. And then of course you can jump in with other effects as needed. So let's just go ahead and start. I'm going to work through just like you see it here. So we'll do top line to bottom line, and I'll give you my workflow. So let's start off by sending this to path 2A because we're going to need both. All right, we'll start with a dynamics block and a deluxe comp. I'm not going to touch that any more than is right there. We'll do a volume pedal. And I like the logarithmic. I think it's a more natural feel, so we'll go through that. All right, third we've got good distortion. I really like the Timmy. I really like this. I like it in the middle position, just a little bit of cut. I'm going to do this for your guitar, whatever makes sense for you. So I like this as it's a pretty big drive. All right, distortion, do a kinky boost. I'll leave that right as it is. So again, right now, it's not going to sound very good. Yeah, it sounds pretty bad. That's okay. Let's get an amp in there. So the amp that I love, and I like to split up the amp and cab blocks. So amp that I love is the AC30 Fawn Normal. I like to set this up the stock settings, but move the drive back. Then I find this to be a pretty quiet amp, so I'll boost that up here to about 9. So it matches some of the other patches. Okay. Again, keeping this real simple here. In fact, I'm going to move this over. I've got a little trick I'm going to put here at the end for you guys. All right. Reverb. So I like having the 63 spring kind of barely on. Maybe at 25%. Just a little bit. So you've got a little bit of zing at the end of your note, a little bit of tail. All right. So the cab block that I love, I try to go away from this. And it's probably because I play a Strat. I like something that's got a lot of body to it. So this greenback through a 121, 2.5 inches off. Do the cuts right at 90 and 6.5 to start. Again, based on the guitar that you have. So right now we should have a pretty decent sound. Right? I mean, you could use that for probably 90% of what you do, right? I mean, you could even go full redneck. I'm just playing. All right, so let's hear what that drive sounds like. This is the Timmy. So high inversions. Sounds real nice. And then the kinky boost is really just to push your amp a little bit more. Versus. So pretty cool. All right, so I've got another trick that I'm going to do right here in this setting. We'll come back to it though. So next, I need a couple of delays. I like the, where are you here? Vintage Digital seems to work well, but since they added these legacy, I've really liked a lot of these. So I feel like the analog echo is just a stellar sound. So just got a real nice kind of dark decay to it. I like it, so I'm going to use that for a while. And then I like it to be not too high in the mix, maybe about 30%. And I set this to my quarter note. So, yep, that's about right. Pretty cool. I might back that off just a touch and maybe pull that bass back a little bit too. Yeah, I like that. Cool, simple enough. We'll turn that off for now. Of course, you need a dotted eighth. It wouldn't be worship without it. So we'll do an Elephant Man here. Again, let's go stereo for that. Elephant Man delay. Drop that into our dotted eighth. And then again, I keep this pretty standard. However, the spread, everything looks good. I'm happy with this. Let's go ahead and turn trails on. Let's go ahead and do that on this last one too, so we don't forget. Cool. So that's what. Perfect. Yep. All right. So it's starting to kind of spread back and forth, which is not what I want. I like this Elephant Man because it's a little dark. So, and then I really don't care for the modulation. So. Sounds pretty good to me. So they should kind of ping pong with each other. Perfect. So I like having a delay that really sits in the background, which that quarter really does. And this dotted still jumps in front of the note for a second, but it doesn't get in the way. So, all right, third. So now we're going to build out our swell section, or kind of big reverb section. I actually start with a delay for this. So let's go to our stereo delays and the Cosmos echo. This thing sounds just fantastic. We want our drive-through on. We want to maintain that signal. We want our trails on as well. And same sort of thing here. We don't want a lot of wow and flutter, which is kind of like a chorusing. It has to do with kind of the speed of the tape and the degradation of tape. But what it sounds like to me is just horrible. So I don't really care for that. We'll pull that down. And then right here, this head 2 and 3, this shows how many delay heads, tape heads I use. I like the stock setting. Go there. And I love that just super long feedback trail. Pull that mix down just a touch. Perfect. Cool. So I'll show you why we have that here in a second. All right. Secondly, reverbs. I really like using 2 reverbs, and this is totally preference, but the Glitz and the Ganymede will get you just a really nice big reverb. If you want something that's going to give you more kind of shimmer, Searchlights, we'll do that. Plateau's got some of that in there too. So there's Glitz, which really is primary of what I'm using here. I like to maybe throw some low cuts, a little bit of high cut, pull that mix all the way up to 50. Now, all right, let's pull the mix back a little bit more on this Cosmos. So kind of what the Cosmos is doing for us is it's giving us this space. It's giving us some tail on our note so it can truly push that reverb and give us the most out of that reverb. So, all right. So I like to go one reverb right into the next one. So let's go Ganymede. This is really your RV6 setting. Pretty cool. Getting trails. Let me hit trails on this one too. All right. So with both of these. I dig that. Could even stand to make this just a little bit longer, our trail. That's pretty cool. I like that. All right. What I like to do here, and I'm going to thank Worship Tutorials for this trick, throw a little gain block right at the end. And a 3 dB boost is a noticeable audible difference to our ears. So let's get it right there on 3. And this is really when you don't want to change your tone at all, because if you throw another drive section in front of the amp, it's going to push the amp, it's going to change the way everything feels. So this is really just for, hey, I've got a lead coming up, let's go ahead and just push out in front. Pretty simple. All right, and then really this is for me. I like having a looper on all of my patches. Let's throw that on there. Also make sure this gain block is stereo. That's important. That 3 dB back up. Stereo looper. Again, just for fun. And final thing here is our low and high cuts. You can do this globally in the Helix, which is a good option. It saves you a block here. But I like having this here. It gives me control over different guitars, and I can use this as another kind of boost at the end of a chain or something. So let's just do this at 80 and 12K. Simple enough. So just makes it sit better in a sound system. All right, so I said I was going to do something kind of fun here. So there's a couple of songs when you really need to have some sort of oscillating thing, some oscillating delay sounds, or like a warp sort of thing, like if you're familiar with old Boss delays. What I do, you can use a mono delay, because again, we're before the amp, so we don't need it to be stereo. And I come down here to a bucket brigade, and I set this up to a switch on the Helix to do a couple of things. We want the trails on, and we're going to assign this to a couple of different things. Now, bear with me. I usually do this on the Helix itself, but we want the bypass to do a couple of things. So, effectively, what's going to happen here is when we turn this on, it's going to kick the feedback up to 100, which you'll hear. But if we turn it off, it keeps going. We want that to come back down to 30. So forgive me, I'm going to go ahead and do this on the Helix because I'm more familiar with that workflow. So I'm going to jump down and do that here. Cool. So I've got that set up. All right, so you can see what I did here. So foot switch 1 does a couple of things. It turns our bypass on and off, and it changes the feedback. All this feedback. So, you're playing. Pretty cool effect. I've used it quite a bit. If you're coming into a big section out of a solo and you hit that and your swells and then turn that off, it can give you some cool sounds. So that's a little trick. Again, some of the cool things you can do in Helix that you just cannot do in other gear. So pretty cool. So yeah, this is the whole rig. I'll go ahead and set up foot switches for all of this and then make this a free download. So if you did like this video, if you like patches like this, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more content. Hit that bell for updates and notifications. And let's keep the conversation going. You know, what is something you guys love doing with your Helix or your gear that is unique to you? Throw that in the comments. Let's start a conversation. But I'll go ahead and play us out. Thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you next time.